All right. Before that, I would like to introduce myself first.
Yeah.
My name is Etty Indrawati, and you can call me Etty. I'm a lecturer at Faculty of Law of Universitas Atma Yogyakarta, Indonesia. And I used to work as legal corporate in a private company in Indonesia, namely K24 Pharmacy. It is a franchisor company in Indonesia. The reason
Okay.
why I want to be a lecturer because I believe that the role of the lecturer is not only to share knowledge but also value. HR consultant in my former company said that value is what is important. We know together that knowledge is very important, but without value, for example, without integrity, knowledge is meaningless and innovation is dangerous. That's why I want to contribute to educating the nation to work in the field of education.
Okay.
And then to answer your question about my research, trademark infringements, law enforcement against trademark infringement in Indonesia. Yes, we know together that trademark as part of intellectual property rights is one of the most important elements in the business world. Trademark protection is one form of legal certainty required by the investors, both domestic and foreign. The legal certainty also expects law enforcement against trademark infringements, and one of the purposes of this research is to investigate the effort made to resolve and reduce the number of trademark infringements in Indonesia. Because what I have presented before in the conference, that the data shows the number of trademark infringements in Indonesia showed an increasing trend. Yeah. And the result of my research is the party whose trademark is used by another party without rights needs to make a complaint about the trademark infringement, because in Indonesia, the violation or infringement of intellectual property rights, including trademark infringement, is a complaint of violence or violation that must be reported by the injured party to the law enforcer. So they have to do that, make or to file a lawsuit against the trademark infringements they have injured. And this research is expected to provide input to the government and the law enforcement in Indonesia related to law enforcement against trademark infringement that occurred in Indonesia. That's my research in a nutshell. Yep. Sometimes starting something new is not easy, right? We must have a strong spirit and not give up. The availability of the sources is a challenge, as well as how to explore reading sources from various references. So I think those are two of several challenges I have faced in in my research. Yep. My motivation during the research was that I had to finish the research I have started. So it is one of the challenges, also motivation for me to finish my research. As I have said before, we must or we ought to have a never give up spirit,
Yeah.
because actually we can start to do our research, but sometimes we cannot finish it. So the motivation is that I had to finish what I have started before, in this case in my research. I have the responsibility and obligation as a lecturer to conduct research aside from teaching and the community outreach. So there are three responsibilities in Indonesia as a lecturer. As a lecturer, the first one is to teach, the second one is to do research, and the third one is to do community outreach. So I have to do my responsibility and my obligation as a lecturer. So that's our motivation. The first one is I had to finish what I have started, and the second one is this is my responsibility to do research as my role as a lecturer. Shortly, many things can be research topics. What we must have is the spirit to try, because we will never know whether we can do it or not if we have not tried it, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we call with learning. I believe and I I trust that learning is a process, how to be able to do something we cannot do before we learning. So this is the learning process. To the young researchers, based on my experience and insights, I would like to encourage you that don't give up to start or to try the new thing in your life. And we believe that we could get a best result as we tried our best, because we will never know till we have tried. All right. The conference committee or convener tried to accommodate the participant feedbacks and was on time, of course, in managing the conference. And you, as the convener, also tried to provide the bias in your work or in the conference. So I would like to appreciate, because this convener also quite communicative and appreciative to all the participants.